Hey guys, today we're going to continue looking at finding area of composite shapes. Remember, a composite shape is just a shape made up of more than one simple shape. So here we have an example, and it tells us a rectangle, a triangle, and two congruent semicircles were used to form the figure shown. That is a whole lot of information right there because they just told me everything that it is made up of. They told me there's a rectangle, they told me there's a triangle, and they told me that there was two congruent, this word is important, congruent means equal, semicircles. A semicircle is just a half circle. So if there are two congruent semicircles, that would make one whole circle. And we want to know which measurement is closest to the area of the figure. Closest meaning I can probably estimate. So if I want the area of the entire composite figure, then I need to find the area of each individual piece. So I can start by looking at the rectangle. And using my handy dandy formula chart, I know my formula is area is equal to base times height. The length of that base right here is 8 times the height, which is 6. I know 8 times 6 is 48. So the area of that rectangle is 48. For my triangle, when I look at my formula chart, I know that area will equal half, or 1/2 times base times height. And the length of my base of my triangle is going to be right here. And that's going to be the same distance as the 6 on the other side of the rectangle. So I can just transfer that information over. So I have 1/2 times the length of the base, which is 6. And the height of that triangle is going to be this vertical distance that, remember, has to make a 90-degree angle. And so we would plug 4 in for the height of the triangle. Half of 6 is 3, and 3 times 4 is 12. So I know the area of my triangle is 12. The area of my rectangle is 48. And when I start to look at the semicircles, I see that they gave me the distance from one end all the way across to the other end. So I know this represents a diameter. So if my diameter is 3, then my radius is 1.5 or 1.5. And so what we can do is use the radius and use our area formula to plug in and solve for area of the whole circle because I know that these are two congruent semicircles. So the formula for area of a circle is pi times radius squared. Remember, that is pi times radius, not radius times 2. And because we're estimating, I'm going to just use 3. The whole number 3 is pi times the radius, which is 1.5, times the radius, which is 1.5. So 3 times 1.5 is 4.5. And I'm going to multiply that by 1.5 again. So I'm going to come do some computation down here at the bottom. 5 times 5 gives me 25. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 more is 22. We're going to add a placeholder 0. 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 4 is 4. And when we sum all of them up, we get 5. 5 and 2 makes 7, and 4 and 2 makes 6. There was 2 numbers behind the decimal in the problem, so there will be 2 numbers behind the decimal in my solution. So I get that the area of the circle is 6 75/100. But I want the whole thing, so remember we need to sum them up. So we had 48 for the rectangle, 12 for the triangle, and 6 75/100. I'm going to just round that up to 7 because, again, we are taking an estimate. I'm going to find the sum of them. 8 and 2 composes to make 10, plus 7 more is going to be 17. 4, 1, and 1 make 6, and so we get an estimate of 67 centimeters squared, which I see is extremely close, or is the answer for A. And so that is going to be an estimated area of our composite shape. All right, thank you.